You're at a coffee shop. Two coworkers huddle close. Their voices drop. A name floats into the air. Instantly, your ears prick up. Your heart beats just a little faster. You lean in without meaning to. And for the next 5 minutes, you are utterly captive. But the real answer to why you can't pull away is far stranger than simple curiosity. That pull toward gossip isn't a moral failing. It's not a guilty pleasure you should feel ashamed of. It is one of the oldest and most powerful survival tools ever built into your brain. Your ancestors lived in small tribes of perhaps 150 individuals. They had no police, no contracts, no reviews to read online. To survive, they needed to know everything about everyone. Who was generous? Who was a cheat? Who had a secret alliance? Who could be trusted in a crisis? And who might stab you in the back the moment you turned around? Getting this information wrong didn't just sting. It got people killed. So your brain evolved a ravenous hunger for social information. A newsfeed of the tribe, updated constantly and processed with lethal seriousness. Scientists call this reputational information, and your brain treats it like a life or death resource. The psychologist Robin Dunbar proposed that human language itself may have evolved primarily to gossip. In his famous gossip as grooming theory, Dunbar argued that just as primates pick bugs off each other to bond and keep track of alliances, humans evolved words to do the same thing at scale. Instead of spending hours physically grooming one person, you could talk about 3 people at once. Who's in charge? Who's sleeping with whom? Who just broke a sacred rule? Gossip allowed early humans to maintain a map of the social world without having to witness every single event personally. It was a Trojan horse of information, slow, intimate whispers that quietly built empires. Your brain's response to gossip is not subtle. When you hear a juicy piece of social information, your brain's salience network lights up like a firecracker. That's the system that decides what is relevant to your survival. The same network that flares when you see a snake or hear a loud bang also fires when you hear that your coworker might get fired. A study led by cognitive neuroscientist Xiaoming Peng used fMRI scans to watch brains during gossip. The researchers found that hearing negative gossip about someone else activated the brain's reward centers, especially the nucleus accumbens. This is the same region that responds to food, money, and physical pleasure. Your brain literally rewards you for getting the dirt. Meanwhile, hearing positive gossip about yourself lit up the medial prefrontal cortex, the region tied to self-reflection and social value. Your reputation, your brain screams, is the most important currency you will ever own. But the story doesn't end with reward. Gossip also sparked a hormonal reaction that glued early human bands together. In one experiment, researchers induced feelings of social closeness by having people share a personal story about a third person. After just 15 minutes, the participants showed elevated oxytocin. That's the hormone often called the bonding molecule, the same one that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn. Gossip, especially when it is shared confidentially, creates a powerful chemical bond between the speaker and the listener. It whispers a prehistoric promise. You and I are in this together. We share a secret. We have each other's backs. In a world of predators and rival clans, that bond could make the difference between life and death. This helps explain an uncomfortable truth. Gossip is not just about tearing people down. It is also a fence that keeps the group safe. The anthropologist Polly Wiesner spent years studying the Jew Hwanzi hunter-gatherers in southern Africa. She found that their constant talking about absent community members, who was moody, who was generous, who lacked self-control, was not idle chatter. It was a living, breathing system of social regulation. When someone's behavior threatened the group, the gossip networks activated. The threat was not shaming alone. It was the knowledge that everyone was talking. Reputation became a silent enforcer. And that prehistoric fence still stands inside your skull. Every time you worry about what the neighbors might think, you are hearing the echoes of campfire whispers from 30,000 years ago. Here is where the evolutionary script takes a strange turn. Your brain was designed for a world of clear signals and small casts. but you now live in a digital sea of infinite faces. Your Stone Age mind cannot tell the difference between an actual tribe member and a celebrity on a screen. When you read a headline about a famous couple's divorce, your salience network does not pause to ask, "Do I know these people?" It just grabs the information and runs the same ancient calculations. Who is loyal? Who betrayed whom? Should I change my behavior? The result is a state of heightened social vigilance that never turns off. You feel compelled to keep scrolling, to keep listening, to keep gathering the whispers. Your brain genuinely believes your survival depends on it. Even more unsettling is how gossip shapes your own sense of self. In a series of experiments by social psychologist Matthew Feinberg, participants were given the opportunity to warn another person about a cheat. Their heart rates increased, their palms sweated, stress hormones pulsed through their bodies. Yet they still chose to pass on the warning, even at a cost to themselves. The brain calculated that the long-term benefit of being seen as a protective group member outweighed the immediate discomfort. This is altruistic gossip, and it reveals how deeply the impulse runs. Your brain will literally make you tense and anxious just so the group can avoid a freeloader. The whispering is not a bug, it is the operating system. Think about the last time you heard a rumor about yourself. That cold jolt in your chest, the sudden replay of every recent conversation, the instant mental catalog of who might have said what. That reaction is not drama. It is your reputation alarm sounding at full volume. For your ancestors, a smear whispered around the fire could mean social death, no mates, no allies, no safety. So your brain built a hair-trigger response to any hint that your name might be on someone else's lips. Today, when you see the little typing bubble on your phone appear and then vanish, that same ancient alarm screams silent warnings into your nervous system. You are being discussed. Your standing is at stake. The fact that it's probably about pizza delivery does not register. The ancient brain always assumes the worst. So what do you do with a mind that treats every whisper like a weapon? You do not fight the wiring. You cannot uninstall it. But you can notice it. You can catch yourself the next time you lean toward a lowered voice or feel the urge to share a scandalous morsel. In that moment, you are not evil. You are not shallow. You are a primate who survived the Pleistocene, because your ancestors understood that information is the difference between safety and exile. Gossip built the trust that let humans cooperate in groups larger than any other primate could manage. It let us share arrows, warn of predators, and raise crying infants together while others gathered food. Without it, we might still be shivering alone in the dark. Next time you catch yourself enthralled by a secret, pause. The whisper that pulls you in is not a flaw. It is the voice of 100,000 ancestors who knew exactly one rule: pay attention or perish. Your brain still listens. And somewhere deep in its ancient wiring, it thanks you for staying alive.